What's up, everybody? It's your boy Xavier here with another episode of Layman in the morning. Hey. Yeah, we're going. We're going. That's going. Camera's going. Ooh, ooh. I don't know where I want to put this godforsaken microphone. I guess I'll put it on the ground. It just rained, so it's kind of, and I want to make sure my levels are right. As you can see, it is a bit of a new setup. We'll put that gain. We'll put the we'll put that gain at 70. How about we put it at 70? Because it gets kind of low. I keep it at 60, but it's kind of low from the other times I recorded at 60. Is this boring as shit? Yes, but am I kind of just immediately bantering to draw out the time? Yes. What's going on, everybody? It's I already said my name. I already said the show name. So we're just we're just kind of figuring things out here. It's so weird. It feels like so long since I recorded this podcast, and I do it every Saturday. So hey. But you know what's happening? I'm missing some weeks. I have missed some weeks. You if I upload this today, Saturday morning, or whenever. Um, Jesus Christ. Hold on. What day is it? Because by the time I upload this, hopefully I'll have the other episode. Yeah, the 12th. If I upload this today, Saturday, September 12th, then you'll most likely see a slew of other episodes. I'm 3 episodes behind right now, so that's always fun. I am 3 episodes behind. I filmed them. I recorded them. They're being done. I'm late to the uploads lately, bro. And damn, bruh. Mosquitoes trying to get in the shot, trying to get some clout. Get out of the shot. Watch this, Eric Andre. I don't know. It is what it. I mean, I'm trying to do better. I'm trying to do better, and I don't know if I'm white balanced. Am I white balanced? It looks like it. My shorts are glowing like a motherfuck. So I guess we're good. Whatever. Last time I was sitting here. So I'll tell you what. The last episode I did with my boy Michael. Shouts out to Michael for featuring on the podcast. Diesel things. Oh, diesel things. Oh, you noticed. Oh, you said what are these bad boys here? You said what are diesel? I need someone to walk back here right now and just catch me in this compromising position. But bro, I gotta flex the Yeezys. Hold on. Hey, hey. Uh, Yeah. Okay. All right. I'm retarded. I definitely did the shoot dance with my legs, so that's what's happening right here. But I'm wearing my fake Yeezys today, so it's a vibe. It's a whole ass vibe. Oh, yep, yep, yeah. Fuck my life. Last episode I did with my friend Michael, and the episode before that, I was talking about how Chadwick Boseman, how Chadwick Boseman passed away, and my thoughts on that and whatnot. Well, we got a little teary. We got a little teary on that episode. It's weird because I've always thought about, like, since I started the pod, like, a lot of podcasters I watch, they all, there's always that one episode where the subject matter just, I guess it's just personal to them or in some way, or, maybe they're going through something during their week and organically they just break down at some point. especially when you're like a professional podcaster and you're doing it once a week, and you're at episode like 5 or 600 or something like that. Every week's not going to be good. Every Monday or Tuesday or whatever day you record the podcast isn't going to be uplifting, and there's a lot of circumstances people go through. But I remember watching Theo Vaughn's podcast. This feels official holding this mic. I have to tell you, I'm sorry, but I feel like a fucking boss holding this mic. This is so tight, bro. So a lot of people will be annoyed by like best way to record audio. Just having the mic, just tossing it. Just playing patty cake with the goddamn mic. It's the best way to pick up whatever the hell you're saying. And don't let anyone tell you different. Actually, hold the mic just like this. This is how you record a podcast. Just make sure you make as far away as possible, and you're just saying a lot of important things that the viewers need to know about. So that's what's going on here. You probably didn't catch any of those jokes because it backfired on me by the way I was holding the mic. But anyway. I was watching Theo Vaughn's podcast. Not was watching, but I remember seeing an episode of his podcast where he was talking about his dad who had passed away. Because homie was old as hell when he had him. I want to say like something really dramatic, like maybe 60s or at least 60s or 70s when he had Theo. Check out Theo Vaughn, amazing comedian. Feels weird and stupid to plug people on this on this failing podcast that I'm 3 episodes behind on. Well, only 2. Well, 3 if I missed this one. But Theo was talking about his dad who passed away, and he just started breaking down. And that whole episode was pretty teary. And I'm pretty sure he's at some other moments too where he started crying. I remember he was talking about being on Joe Rogan's podcast, and he was talking about the camaraderie with Joe and him and other comedians in LA, and how he just was just happy to be a part of the group. And that was a very genuine moment too, where he started just breaking down and crying. And Chris D'Elia's podcast, shouts out to Chris D'Elia. Prayers to Chris D'Elia. Whatever happens with that shit. Chris D'Elia too, he was talking about some he was just doing his thing on his podcast. He was just on this particular episode. He was just doing his thing, jokes, whatever. It's kind of a normal episode, and then he just kind of stops in the middle of it, and he's kind of like, "Hey, I've been having a bad week," and he just kind of breaks down and doesn't divulge what's happening, but he's just said he's been having a heavy week, and a fan said something. No, not a fan. Or no, a fan, did say something like genuine to him that affected him or something like that. And I guess that was just a tipping point for him. And he just started crying on his podcast, just talking about that fan interaction and how he wants to be in the likeness of people like Kevin Hart and The Rock, and just make people happy and, promote positivity and hopefully non-pedophilia. And he started crying there too. Remember Joe Rogan cried on his podcast seeing Kamaru Usman, UFC fighter. Kamaru Usman won a fight against Tyron Woodley, another UFC fighter, obviously. And Joe Rogan was watching the video where Usman's mom was hugging Tyron Woodley, and that was a very genuine and sweet video. And Joe, reacting to that, just cried on the pod too. Something about crying on camera. It's kind of whatever to cry around like homies or people or in private. But like crying on a record is kind of interesting. I guess it's different for this podcast because no one watches this shit anyway. And I don't know. And then plus I cry like 20 minutes into it, so it's not even. Like, not a lot of people stick around for the entirety of the episodes, so I'm pretty. I'm not all that. I mean, I'm not insecure if you see me cry. I mean, because it happens. It's human shit. We're living in a time where it's like with Instagram and I guess just social media in general, people feel more obligated to. I feel like it's about the rain on my. It rained earlier. I'm hoping it spares me for another 45 minutes or however long we've been going. We'll see. I feel like I'm about to get drenched on. I'm about to look like a fucking a bikini babe at a car wash. I'm about to get a little soaked. I'm about to get a little soaked. I'm about to have my nips out. I'm about to look like Kristen Dunst in that goddamn Spider-Man scene with the nips popping out, wearing this white ass shirt with nothing below it. I think that's what I'm insecure about. I mean, I don't think you can even see it from here. Can you see my nips? Hopefully not. Hopefully, well, I think you can. I think you. Yep, you can. That's some nip action. That's some that's some nip action for for that ass. That's yeah. That's oh yeah. I'm Mary Jane in that one Spider-Man scene. I'm Kristen Dunst. Was it Kristen Dunst or Kristen Stewart? I think it's Kristen Dunst. Anyway, there's my nips. Take a picture. It'll last longer. Go ahead and rewind. Take your screenshots. Get your screen recordings. My nips and me crying are on this podcast. It's documented. My outfit's kind of crazy today. My outfit is kind of ridiculous, but that's just what's happening. The worst thing that happened on this podcast isn't even me crying. It's probably doing the shoot dance with my legs earlier. But that's the mood. That's the mood. You feel a kind of way, and you have to act on it sometimes. And what the moment called for was me hitting the shoot with my dance or with my legs, hitting the shoot with my dance. And Jesus Christmas, what's happening right now? Anyway, we live in a time for the social media, and people feel obligated to post all the good things that happen in their life. Because obviously, who wants to see um, pictures of you at a funeral or pictures of your cat getting run over by a car? I don't know, some just generic depressing stuff. You kind of want everybody to not think that your life is always amazing or whatever, but it's a whatever you're putting on there, you see it as a moment in your life that's like, okay, this is cool. People should see this. This doesn't happen often, or whatever the case is. But some people do, or want to give the perception that my life's awesome all the time. And whether it is or not, it's not like that for most people. Most people are just doing some regular, boring, paint drying ass shit. Then every once in a while, you go to Barcelona or something, and then you post that. But all people are seeing on the feed is like, oh, he went to Barcelona, he went to Spain this 1 year. Oh, he's eating pasta at can't even name a can't even name a restaurant. Yeah, one job, Xavier. Jesus Christ. I go on Family Feud. Steve's like, name one restaurant that sells pasta. I'm like, yeah, McDonald's. Jesus Christmas. That's where we are now, though. People want you to think they're always eating pasta, and we're not always eating pasta. Sometimes we're eating oatmeal, but not even the good kind, like the steel cut oats that you mix in with water because you're watching your weight. Oh, God bless. That's how it is, though, man. You gotta not saying that you should post, if you had a at Johnny's funeral, OMG, don't do that. Don't post Johnny's funeral. About to kill myself, OMG. About to find out if heaven exists. About to sacrifice my grandma to the Lord Safulu. LOL. You don't have to go that far, but like I don't know. I guess don't be afraid to be vulnerable on your platforms, or I guess just be yourself. That's why I don't mind people seeing me cry, because it happens. You've cried, I've cried. He, she, we, wumbo. I'm getting ate the fuck up by these mosquitoes. I tell you what, I'm getting ate the fuck up, bro. This is a bad decision wearing these short ass shorts. I always wear these shorts on the pod though, so I don't even know. I'm in too deep. It's like episode like what, 23? 20, 21, 20. I think it's 23. I think we're on episode 23. Oh, snap. Weird being in the 20s. Weird being in the 20s. God bless. Am I going to be itching this entire time? I guess so. I do it for y'all. I do it for y'all. I can't even tell. I can't even tell if a mosquito. Jesus. I can't tell if a mosquito's on me or if it's just my fucking hair. My hair, at a distance, does look like a mosquito perched on me, because they're so like dangly and lanky and shit like that. I can't even tell. Genuinely can't tell if a mosquito's on me or if it's just my scraggly black hairs. And that's just the life we're in right now. First world problems. I tell you what. Whole lot of malaria coursing through my quads right now. But yeah, that's why I'm not afraid to. I mean, also the stakes are low. Not the stakes, but it's like not a lot of, like I said, not a lot of people watch this podcast. Some would say nobody watched this podcast. Arguably. It's debatable that no one watches this podcast. Most would say, if I took a consensus of everybody in the neighborhood, maybe everybody in the universe, most people would say I haven't seen the podcast, and I'd rather not see it. Get off my lawn. So maybe if I had like a bigger following and whatnot, I'd probably be more afraid to cry and tear up, because I have more people coming up to me being like, hey, are you good, are you okay, or you're a bitch and you're a hoe for tearing up. Definitely not a masculine thing for me. I'm not afraid of people thinking I'm like a sissy or nothing for crying. It should be more accepted to cry. Just cry. Crying is a very cathartic thing. Everybody should have a good cry at least. What's the cap for crying? What is, in a year's time, what is the cap for how many times you can cry? Like, how many times until it's like a problem, you know? Once a month? Crying 12 times in a year, that's a problem. That's a problem. Once a month? Not even once every other month. Look at me saying it's okay to cry and then being like, but but don't cry too much, you know? What's the cap? What's the cap for a good, healthy cry? You gotta cry at least once a year. At least once a year, you gotta get a good cry out. I say keep it low. Maybe 5 times a year. If you cry 5 times a year, I think that's good. I'll say that's good. I think any more than that, definitely check in with somebody. Definitely get some help. You cry 5 times a year, smack the mic. You cry 6 times a year. definitely stop it, get some help levels, We had 20 minutes. Jesus Christ. What have we been talking about? I think it just exclusively crying for 20 minutes. I kind of wanted to talk about the Takashi interview, just like react to that and then do like a breakdown of it, but I genuinely don't feel like it. I walked outside, started getting bit up by these mosquitoes, and my chin is real itchy because I get razor bumps, and I just shaved my face. Whole lot of gang shit going on. Not a lot of gang shit, but just a whole lot of shit, and actually. Unless razor bumps and crying is gang shit, then I'm deep in it. I'm Pyru. Maybe I shouldn't say that. Maybe I shouldn't say that. But I'm not in LA or nothing. There's no Pyrus in Canton. Imagine a full out gang in Canton, Georgia. Imagine a full out gang war going on in Canton, Georgia. Fuck my life, bro. Canton, Georgia. The last place you'd see a gang. I couldn't join a gang. If I did join a gang, I'll probably do like if you guys need pictures for Instagram, I'm good with the Photoshop. You guys need like a photographer or something like that. I'd definitely be the gang photographer. What's that? What City of God? City of God. I'm pretty much Rocket from City of God, taking pictures of these gangs and shit. God, who's seen City of God? That's a fucking fantastic movie. Basically about these a bunch of kids living in the slums of, I want to say Brazil. I never established where they were. I want to say Brazil though. Bunch of kids growing up in Brazil. Some of them are in the gang life, but the main character Rocket is in the midst of the gang life, but he's just a regular guy who wants to fulfill his dreams of being a photographer. And I really dug that movie because I related to Rocket, not in terms of like me growing up next to being adjacent to a gang or something like that. How how schmuck of me that I had to change next to adjacent. How bitch ass of me to do that. Same thing, Xavier. You were right the first time. Don't have to flex your vocabulary at every moment. Chill out, baby. Chill out. But yeah, I related to Rocket in terms of, I guess, the photography aspect, but like, all right, I guess that's strictly it. I don't know. I feel like it's deeper than that. I just don't know how to articulate it. Not gang members in particular, but homies trying to push me to just negative influences coming at me at a high rate. Some that I've succumbed to, but others where it's like, no, I just kind of want to do my own shit, and that's where I relate to Rocket on that level. He just kind of wants to do his own thing, still being in the midst of all that. But he's like I said, my story and upbringing is not nearly as extreme, but it's more like, hey Xavier, I'm gonna take these pills. Not pills. None of my friends are doing pills. None of my friends are doing pills. That's a bit dramatic. But some of them are like, hey, I'm gonna get drunk. I'm gonna smoke some weed. I'm gonna do this ratchet shit. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do me. I'm gonna just do me. We're just gonna see what happens. And that's Rocket. His friends are on a whole lot of gang shit. Not mine, but his homies. I have a rash on mine. Or not a rash. That's just a mark from your sneaker, you dumbass. Cool. Shouts out to Rocket from City of God though. Gang photographer. He was basically the gang photographer. He got a job eventually. This is not a spoiler or anything like that. He got a job. If you were trying to see City of God 20 years later, not a spoiler, don't worry. for 11 of you that watch this podcast and we're looking forward to watching City of God. Don't worry. I'm not going to spoil it for you. God damn it. Rocket was he was on his photography shit and stuff like that, and he got hired at this local newspaper. And not local newspaper. What do you call them? Local publisher? No. Fuck, man. Stuff like New York Times and Life. What are they? I don't fucking know. Anyway, he got hired at this newspaper shop. I don't know. I just gave up. Rocket got hired there, and word got out to the gang that that Rocket takes pictures and stuff like that. So the gang members were all like, "Hey man, take pictures of us, and show everybody how cool and hard and tough we are." And that's what he started doing. So Rocket already had an in being a photographer, and as long as he was good with the pictures, of course they wouldn't shoot him and shit like that. It was actually a very interesting dynamic, him just being who he is, just a straight up dork like me, and being around these gang members, and they're like, "Hey man, take our picture, we'll shoot you or otherwise we'll shoot you in the face. Take our picture or we'll shoot your mother." He's like, "Okay, I'm just trying to follow my dreams and make it out the slums." It's a very tight movie. Shouts out to City of God. Never seen any one of those actors again. I hope they're all doing okay. It's a very iconic movie. Everything is itchy on me, bro. I think a mosquito went on my face, or either I have a razor bump. I'm almost certain that this is a razor bump. But also, I don't know. We're just kind of hanging out today. We're just kind of hanging out. I'm itchy as a bitch. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I'm not gonna lie to you. I need some spray. I need the spritz. I'm pulling out my briefs again right in front of you guys, so I apologize. I need to stop doing that. I mean, I've only done it twice, but it's 2 times too many, some would say. I just need to finesse it a little bit more. Put your hands in your pockets or something like that. You ever did the hands in your pockets, pull out the briefs a little bit move? Because it's just riding up there. I just recently got bigger briefs. Because I'm a thick boy down there. In terms of like my thighs and whatnot. I don't think my penis is all that to write home about. But in terms of my my glutes and my quads and my legs and stuff like that, a lot of things are growing. Things are growing. I've been working out. I've been consistent with my workouts, and I'm seeing the results. That's I don't know. I think I do have a nice butt though. We can get into it. I have a nice tush. I have a nice little tush. Not even a nice little, just like I have a good, firm tush. I remember I was not boating. What was I doing? What do you call it when you're in that little circular donut floaty? Tubing. I went tubing with my friends at the lake last year, I think. Either last year or 2 years ago. And his dad was driving the boat, and it was me and my friend on separate tubes tied to the boat. And his dad, the troll that he is, turned at an angle where neither of us could stay on, so we flew off the tubes. And then I came up. I didn't have any board shorts or anything like that. I was just wearing some regular boxers. So I didn't have a tie or anything. So when I came out the water, my ass was out. My bare ass, my bare black booty. His entire John's my friend. Shouts out to John. His entire immediate family has seen my ass. So that's just so that's a thing. Wow, my mom hasn't even seen my ass in a while. I mean, not that she should, not that she should, but knowing that John's family has seen my ass, John's family has seen my ass more recently than my own mom. It's kind of ridiculous. It's kind of insane. I mean, who would you rather want to see your ass, your family or your friends? I guess your friends. I don't know, because your family you got to see the next day. Friends, you could, you can ditch them for 3 months and then you both forget about it. But your mom, I mean, you probably live with her, and you have to address. I mean, this lady saw my asshole, and I live with her. Oh God, they didn't see my asshole, but they just saw my ass. They saw both cheeks. They saw both cheeks. So that's a thing that happened. At my new job, not my new job, at my job at the new office, I've been walked in on twice in the restroom. Niggas need to knock for one thing, but I mean, I need to lock the door. That's essential too. That will actually solve the problem. That will immediately solve my problem if I just wasn't a forgetful asshat. But when I started using the restrooms, I just wasn't locking the door. So my coworker walked in on me, and then another lady walked on me. Like my coworker, who was a guy who worked in the call center with me, because we were pretty close. We talked every other day, and our cubicles. He's moved on now, but our cubicles were next to each other, so we're interacting damn near every day. And he walked in on me, not in any compromising kind of position, but I was looking in the mirror. I was doing something with my nose in the mirror, probably just making sure it was clean or something. But my pants were like, my fly was undone, my belt wasn't wrapped up or nothing. So my pants were up, but my fly completely undone. Just nothing zipped yet. My briefs are up. He's not seeing anything. He's not seeing my Johnson, poking around and being like, whoa, what's happening? Everything's secure. You could just see a little bit of my briefs if you tried hard enough. And even then, I was facing the sink, so he only saw me from a side angle and noticed that everything was open. But very safe for the most part. We're pretty good. Walked in on me like that, and I was like, yo, there's no cool way to get caught in the bathroom, bro. There's no way. I don't know. I don't know if there's a solid way to play off being walked in on in the bathroom. He walked in on me. Just shit unzipped. Me looking in the mirror. I turn around and like, oh. That's it. If I swear to God, that's verbatim what I did. I said, oh, that. And then he did a little. He closed the door slowly. He closed the door. He didn't have a sense of urgency about it. That's what I was kind of mad about. And shouts out to my coworker closing the door as slow as possible. Because I guess to a degree, you're freaking out. Where both of us are freaking the fuck out in our heads, but we got to play it cool because we're both prideful men in compromising positions. He's embarrassed because he walked in on me. I'm embarrassed because I didn't lock the door. My pad, my fly is kind of undone, and I'm doing something in the mirror, and I wanted to see my Johnson, and it's just a situation for both of us. And I didn't get any words out. I said, ah. And he closed the door as slow as possible just to prove that he was unshaken, but he probably was. So that's just what's going on here. And then the second time it happened, I think my pants were up, zipped, everything was cool. I think I was washing my hands, and then a lady walked in on me, and then she was, the ladies, the ladies, bro. They scream for everything. She was like, "Oh!" They closed the door. She closed the door fast as fuck. And then I think I did the same thing again. I was like, "Oh." What do you say? What can you possibly say when someone walks in on you? Surprise! I don't know. I don't know what. Because what can you say that's also cool and just collected? I can't say nothing like I'm a maniac. I can't just stare and smile like you like what you see. You gotta say something. You have to produce some kind of sound that just shows that you're a person and you're aware of what's happening between you and this other person that just walked in on you. You gotta you gotta show some kind of emotion just to prove that you're not a damn robot. It's weird though, cause it's also as awkward as you make it. I think about sometimes when I'm in there, I lock the doors now. I do not forget to lock the doors for sure because I've been walked in on twice, and I know everybody else in that office has yet to be walked in on. So that kind of hurts me deep inside. I don't know for sure that no one else has been walked in on, but I know for sure that no one else has been walked in on because I know me. I know me, and some of the situations I get into in my head, I'm like, I'm definitely the only person who's going through this. I'm the only person going through this and has gone through this. It's just some hijinks, and everybody else are like just adults that use their brains and shit like that, and they're like, okay, I'm 30, we're done with the hijinks. And me, I'm like 22, and I'm like, well, I'm still getting into some hijinks. I'm still getting into some situations. I'm still slipping on banana pills. Everybody else there is 30. They're dodging the banana pills. They're like, I've seen that before. I'm not falling for it. And me, I'm still. But banana pills are plenty for your boy. I have yet to learn from my mistakes. That's all I'm saying. Anyway, what the fuck was I talking about? Being walked in on in the bathroom. Oh yeah, I think about pretty often when I'm in there and I'm wiping my ass after a nice poop. Um, you know how you wipe your ass? You do the reach around. How do you guys wipe? If anyone is this far into the podcast, do you do the reach around or do you do the under wipe? The under wipe is kind of ridiculous. If you're doing an under wipe, I can only assume you have one body in your trunk at all times. Like, who are you to do the under? For one thing, it's just kind of going out of your way when you could just reach around, but reaching under, there's kind of a lot of effort put into it. I guess to a degree, I respect the under wipe. I respect the under wipe because it's a little more effort, and you like to work for it. I don't know what I meant by that, but I'm gonna roll with it. I'm gonna roll with it. You like to work for it, and I respect that. Anybody who works to get a job done, I respect it. Um, but also, what the hell is that quote? Work smarter, not harder. But also, work smarter, not harder. That's the main thing. And when you're doing the underwipe, you're just blatantly working harder. It's the difference of. Here's all I'm saying. This and then this, bro. Come on, bro. You can't even reach your asshole like that. You gotta keep going a little bit, and then you're halfway there, as opposed to just, you know. Come on, man. My underwipers out there. I'm not trying to judge you and your lifestyle, but if you're doing like an underwipe, I can only assume you're like an alcoholic with a body in your trunk. You're just someone that needs help, and that's completely fine. We've all been there. Not really. Some people learn early on. A lot of people are born with it. A lot of maybe it's Maybelline. A lot of people are just are born with the sensibility to do the side wipe, the reach around. I feel like this is a natural instinct. You're just kind of you're just kind of built different if you're doing the under wipe. You're kind of out of your goddamn mind, but hey, who am I to judge? I'm still getting into some hijinks. I'm still being walked in on. You know who doesn't get walked in on? The people who do the under wipe, because they're thinking about too much things, and their mind is moving at a rapid fire rate. To do something as insane as go under to wipe your ass, you're obviously locking the doors, and you're thinking about some other things. Those guys are just aware of everything. The underwipers. Let me know in the comments if you're an underwiper. If you made it this far, you fucking psychopath. But I think about it often when I'm wiping my booty hole. When I'm wiping my little tushy asshole. When I'm cleaning when I'm rinsing off my brown eye. I often think about what if someone walks in on me in that position. What do you say? what what do you say? What can you say to just I guess to pacify the situation? Cuz that's maybe the most compromising position that you could ever be in, right? Is there anything worse than someone seeing you? I mean, cuz here's the thing. When, when I was tubing with my friend and my shorts came off, it's not like they were all the way off. I didn't lose them. They were just kind of down. My ass was out, but you know I was swimming and everything, and it was kind of abrupt. It was very abrupt. No one expects a bare ass to come out, and it was like what? It had to be like 2 or 3 p.m. when we were doing that. A bare ass at 3 p.m. is a bit much for the regular person. Underwipers prepare for it. Underwipers are prepared for anything. Underwipers definitely don't at all brace themselves for a bare ass. They see a bare ass and they're like, makes sense. All right. With my lifestyle, yeah, that's on brand. Nothing phases me. I reach around, or excuse me, I reach under to wipe my ass. Nothing ever phases me. I am not jaded by anything. Whoa, there's a cool little caterpillar over there. There's a cool little caterpillar over there. Wow, wow, it's 43 minutes. 43 minutes. What the hell? We've been talking about crying and wiping our assholes. So that's just what's happening right now. I'm just staring at this caterpillar. Looking at a little caterpillar. Um, anyway, I'm not in a, I wouldn't say I was in a compromising position though when my pants were down during tubing. For one thing, you see it in the movies all the time. It's something that I feel like normally happens to people every once in a while. Their pants come down when they're swimming, or you know, shit like that. It's kind of a normal for having your pants come down. The circumstances kind of make sense. You're in the water. My homie's dad was going really fast. We were, just tubing and stuff like that. There's a lot going on. A lot of things that would lead to someone's pants falling down. Right? Kind of makes sense. As opposed to being in an office environment with cubicles and like 30-year-old, people with kids and shit. Not common to see someone's pants down. I don't know where you guys are working, but unless you're at the Pornhub studios, most people aren't bracing themselves for pants coming down at a place with cubicles. And I'm just wondering what what can I do or say to just, I guess, to show that I have everything handled when someone walks in on me, you know? How do you control the situation? 48 laws of power fucked that, it fucked everything up. I mean, there needs to be 49 laws of power, and the 49th rule will just be like what to do when your ass is out in an office setting. What do you do, bro? Obviously, 48 laws can teach you personality traits, how to command a room, how to boost your confidence, but not about what to do when your ass is out and you're caught in a building full of cubicles. What do you do in that situation, bro? Let me know in the comments. What do you do? Because, like I said earlier, it's as awkward as you make it. If you freak out and you're like, whoa, whoa, and then your pee-pee is like, if you're like, oh no, you turn into Goofy, I feel like the person's more obligated to be like, oh no, and the lady that walked in on me, oh, you're just kind of hyping it up. You're just kind of building towards it. But if we're both, I mean, if I'm chill, then I feel like that the person that walked in is gonna read off the energy and be like, okay, if he's chill, then I'm chill, If he's not that concerned by this, then, why should I be? I guess. I don't know. It's kind of funny because me and the lady had a laugh about it afterwards. We both saw each other, and, we both shared a nice chuckle. So that was pretty tight, actually. But, when my coworker walked in on me, we it's so hilarious because neither of us addressed it. Neither of us have yet to address, hey, remember when you walked in on me? Not even in a joking kind of way. Just like, you know what? It happened, but it never happened, Because we're both prideful men. And both of us were in a place of we were both in a realm of awkwardness and I guess weakness in a way. Not weakness, but vulnerability. And that shit can't fly. So we just erase it from our. We just kind of compartmentalize it into the very back of our minds here. My brain is kind of like that SpongeBob episode, where where uh where that food reviewer, where the Krabby Patty reviewer, that guy was coming over, and he had to be like real fancy and proper, like he couldn't be himself. And then the guy was like, "What's your name?" And I have to thank the chef. And then SpongeBob comes out and he's like, "I must know your name." And SpongeBob forgets his name because he burned the file for his name. He purged all of his personality and a lot of other things, including his name. And a bunch of SpongeBobs are running around in his head like, "Where the fuck is his name, bro?" And then all the other SpongeBobs was like, "We don't have it. We must have burned it." And that's like me. That's like me and my coworker with the memory of him walking in on me. It's kind of like we had to purge it. Both of us in our deep in our subconscious, we took that file, we threw it in the shredder. Even though I'm recalling it, I remember exactly what happened. I remember everything. I remember it like it was yesterday. I wake up in cold sweat thinking about that moment, but I have to play it off like I don't know what happened. If he was to ever come up to me and be like, "Hey, remember that time?" I'd be like, what are you what, huh? I don't recall. I don't know what you said." I just I just turned foreign. I don't no say no si se puede que no se puede corte eso. I can't. I don't understand what you say. So little for no so lisa for no thank you, no thank you. You know, I just turned into someone from a foreign country. That's just what's gonna happen when he asked me about it. He's gonna be like, Xavier, you know, this happened, and I don't know. It's been on my mind for a while. I just feel like it's, I feel like it'll be weird for both of us not to address it. I think we should just be honest with ourselves and, you know, talk about this thing that happened that was kind of weird for both of us. Do you recall when I walked in on you in the restroom that one day? I don't think I know. What you, I don't know exactly what happened. I say, si no puede, I can't, no puede, no puede, no puede. I don't know how to say it. I'm going over there. I'm going over. You gotta play it off, bro. You gotta play it off. But what do you do in the moment? That's the unanswered question of life. Somebody knows. Bruce Willis, somebody like Bruce Willis, or maybe The Rock, will play that shit off very well. I think it's about to rain on me again, but we're about to hit an hour. We're good. 52 minutes? Hell yeah. 30 minutes of just, I'm pretty sure it was potty talk, and 20 minutes of crying. You gotta cry and you gotta poop. You gotta do both things. You gotta cry and you gotta have your ass out sometimes. Shouts out to my underwipers. Jesus Christmas. This podcast is ridiculous. It's nice though. Nice to come out here and talk about pooping and crying. Crying and pooping, pooping and crying. You ever cried while pooping? Has anyone ever cried while pooping? That's a conversation. Yo, let me know in the comments if you ever cried while pooping or pooped while you were crying. It's two different things, god damn it. Crying while pooping is crying while pooping is implies that you were already pooping and maybe the amount of poop leads you to cry, or you're pooping and you think about something sad and you begin to cry. But you're pooping first. Pooping came first if you're crying while pooping. And pooping while crying, you were crying first. You already had a moment. You already thought of something sad, or you're just going through something in general, and you're crying, and then some poop comes. The poop precedes the crying, which is probably even worse. If you're in a situation where you're crying, you cry first, and then you start pooping. I feel like that's worse. I never pooped while crying. I'll tell you what. I just want to get that out of the way. I feel like it wasn't established. I felt insecure. I had to address it. I never pooped while crying, and I never cried while pooping. But some people have. My eyes probably watered. My eyes watered once or twice while getting a little dookie out. Oh my goodness. I hope no one watches this episode. I tell you what. I hope 0 people view this episode. But that's just the fact of the matter. You gotta do both. You just can't do both at the same time. Preferably you can't do both at the same time, but it makes sense if you're pooping while crying or crying while pooping. Not really. It doesn't make sense in any context. Just try not to do it. Just try not to do it. You ever cry while eating? Crying while eating is probably that's a low. That's a low, I feel like. Remember that Jurassic Park scene? Remember that Jurassic Park scene where that blonde lady, I forgot her name. What was her name? She was like an explorer archaeologist too, or something like that. She was talking to that old guy, and then she started breaking down. And I remember seeing that as a kid because she was eating while she broke down crying, and I was like, this is such a. Even as a kid, I was like, this doesn't register with me. Because in the scene where you're supposed to feel bad and feel sympathy, obviously this actor is, this actress is crying, and the movie is conveying that this is an upsetting moment because she is crying. Therefore, you should feel upset. But I'm like, why is she eating though? Stop eating, bro. I don't care what it's about, bro. Your parents could have died in like a fiery accident. If you're crying and you take like a bite of a hot dog or something, bro, this mosquito's testing my. I'm gonna let him land on me, and then I'm gonna show him what for. I'm gonna give him the business. This must. Yeah, bitch. Yeah. Yeah. Last time you're gonna. Last time you're gonna eat on my calves, aren't you? Last time you're gonna eat on my calves. Yeah. Oh yes. Last time you're gonna. Have I lost my damn mind? And I think he's still alive. He's still in front of me. He's still in front of me. I'm gonna let him land on me. I'm gonna let him land on me. Is this good content? Is this Get on me. Get on me. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. There you go. I got him. I got him. He is forever smeared on my nacho socks. Anyway, I've lost my damn mind. It's 57 minutes in, and I'm kind of just trying to drag this bitch out. Anyway, I don't care what you're crying about. If you're eating while doing it, you stop it. Stop all that. Stop all that. I feel like whatever you're sad about isn't that serious if you're still willing to take a bite of a hot dog or something like that. Food is great, but if you're crying, bro, come on, bro. Make it worth the cry. Like, commit to it, lean into it, stop everything you're doing, and just lean into the cry. You can't do anything else. Doing anything while crying is kind of just weird, if you're working on a car or something like that, or you're doing your taxes. Just don't, bro. Just cry. Just put it to the side. Just stop crying. Or stop doing what you're doing and cry. Jeez, man. Unless you're pooping, I guess you can't stop that. Once you start pooping, it's hard. It's hard to stop. You ever stop? You ever tried to stop a poop? Y'all ever try to stop a poop? It's not a. It's damn near impossible. It doesn't behoove anyone in the situation when you try to stop a poop. You kind of just gotta let that happen, bro. Even if you're not at the bathroom, if you're going, just go, bro. Just let it happen. I just told her, I just definitely just admitted that you should shit yourself, and don't shit yourself, but like, do your best not to shit yourself, but not to the extent where it hurts you. Nobody shit themselves. I don't know what I was talking about. Don't shit yourself. If you're not in the bathroom, then don't shit yourself. Which is just but be careful as well when trying to stop your poops, because for me, if I try to stop a poop, it's World War III. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. It's 59 minutes. We're just gonna cruise into this outro here. Would you guys like that? Would you guys like me to stop talking about shitting yourself and how it's okay to do that? I was trying to say so and that, and I said sat. So I'm insecure. But it's the end of the podcast, so that's fine. We've exclusively talked. Usually when I leave these episodes, I'm like, wow, I talked about a lot of things. It was pretty cool. I've exclusively talked about pooping and crying in this episode. So damn, that's just the vibe, I guess. That's just what was on my mind. I don't know. I never know what's gonna happen when I sit down in this chair. And I can't say I'm proud of what we discussed, but fuck it. We hit an hour. My name's Xavier. My name is Xavier. This has been Layman in the Morning. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. And always remember, you can cry and you can poop, but don't poop while you cry. Peace.